Did you know Excel experts rarely use the mouse? In this video, I will show you keyboard shortcuts that can make you work 5 times faster in Excel. Hello everyone, welcome back to the MBA Beginner Excel course. In the previous videos, we have already learned how to enter or edit data and autofit. We have also briefly learned about few keys, that is enter key and tab key. You will get all the previous videos on Excel in the I icon above, or simply you can go to our playlist section to find all the relevant videos there. So without wasting further time, let's proceed with today's topic, which is keyboard navigation in Excel. Using keyboard shortcuts can make your work much faster than using a mouse. So let's get started. What is keyboard navigation? Keyboard navigation simply means moving around a worksheet using only the keyboard. This section is called as worksheet, right? We know now, for example, we know how to open an Excel, how to save it, right? We have already made all those videos. What is worksheet, what are ribbons, right? So this section is ribbon, sorry, this section is worksheet, right, where we put the data. So keyboard navigation simply means moving around a worksheet using only the keyboard. Instead of clicking with the mouse every time, you can quickly move from one cell to another cell like this. We can move simply from one cell to another cell like this, right, using shortcut keys. This saves time and improves productivity. So now, for example, we are in cell, let's suppose, for example, C8, right? And we all know if I hit enter like this, it will go one step down. Now, if for example, if I need to go one step right, what I will say, I will click one tab, right? If I have to go one step down, I will click on enter like this. If I have to go one step right, then I have to click on tab, right? So we know this thing, right? Firstly, let's understand there are certain rules and regulations which we must remember regarding the Excel. If I have to go down, I will simply put enter, 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 right? Or we can simply click on the down side arrow key, right? Like this on the keyboard, right? If I, for example, have to go right, then I can simply click on the tab and I can click on the right side, right arrow key on the keyboard. We will be discussing all these things in the detail, obviously, right? So this was a gist to make you understand how exactly things work. First, try to understand. I will help you to make notes as well, but first our concept must be clear. Similarly, a similar way, if I, for example, have to go towards the left, I will simply click on left arrow key on the keyboard to move one step to the left, or I can simply click on shift plus tab, right? Shift plus tab, and I will move one step towards the left. If I click only tab, I will move one step right, and if I click shift plus tab, I will move one step left. Or I can click simply on left arrow key on the keyboard like this, right? So this is how it works. There are multiple ways to do the same things, right? As for example, we discussed, if I click enter, then I will move one step down. If I click down arrow key, I will go one step down. If for example I click tab, I will go right side, one step right side. If I click, for example, right key on the keyboard, I will go one step right side. I hope you are shadowing me simultaneously so that you will remember all this, right? And the next topics will be easier for you, because if for example you don't understand the navigation of the keyboard, then it will be harder for you to reach the optimum efficacy as far as the Excel is concerned. So please do it simultaneously with me so that you will remember what exactly. I will help you to make notes as well, but firstly try to try to understand these things and make your concepts clear. uh, After that you can easily make the notes, right? Now to move right, now let's do one thing. Now let's try to understand again what I said, right? To move right, we can simply click on right arrow key, or I can click on tab key, right? This is how it works, right? I have to click on right arrow key, or I have to click on tab. This is how I can move towards the right. right? One step right rather. Now if I have to click move towards the left, then left arrow key and shift plus tab. Simply you have to remember, if I have to go right, then I have to click on tab. If I have to go leftwards, then I have to click on shift plus tab, right? Arrow keys you will obviously remember, you won't forget arrow keys, but you have to remember because these are the things when you have a large amount of data, so you have to remember tab key, shift plus tab, etc., right? Similar way we can use the up arrow key to move one step upwards, or for example now look, if we click on tab we will move one step towards the right. If we click one step if we want to go one step back, sorry, left side, we have to click shift plus tab. Similar way, if we click enter, what will happen, we will move one step towards, we will go one step towards downwards. And if we click on, for example, shift plus enter, we will move one step upwards, right? Simply you have to remember these things. Or simply I can click on uh, up key on the keyboard, up arrow key on the keyboard, so it will go one step, it will move one step upwards, right? Now we know how we have to move right one step, one how we have to move one step left, how we move one step downwards, and how we have to move one step upwards, right? These were the, now our keyboard has now we learned the arrow keys, now we learned shift plus enter, now we learned shift plus tab, we learned about enter, we learned about tab. Now there is another key which is home key, right? Home key, what happens home key, when you press home key, excel moves like let me put it here, for example, when you press home key, excel moves to the first column of the current row. For example, if you are in G4, right? Here you are in G4 cell. So what will happen if I click on home? It will go to A4, right? It will go to A4. Now, for example, if I am in E3 and I will click on home, it will go to A3, right? Let's suppose, for example, I am in E20 and I will click home, it will reach to E20. So simply when you press home key, Excel moves to the first column of the current row. First column of the current row. Even if you are on the any column, it will make you, it will, when you will press home key, it will take you towards the first column of that row. Right? Now, same way, control plus home, just we clicked on control plus tab, control plus enter, now control plus home. Now we understand what exactly home key does do. Now let's understand what control plus home does. This is one of the most important shortcuts, right? Once we press control plus home, excel immediately moves towards the cell when no matter where you are in the worksheet. Let's for example click on the this. Now we have to click on control plus home. Look, it got to the A1. Here, when you will press only home key, it will take you to that row only, right? To the first column of that row only. It won't take you to the first row, first column, that is A1 cell. No. If you have to go to one cell, let's suppose, for example, if you are on this 131st page, let's suppose L132, you are on the serial. Now you want to go to first page, right? You want to go to the first row, first cell. What you have to click? Control plus. We have to simply click control plus home, and you will reach to the A1 where we have clicked. Rahul, you can check in the formula bar. Here it is, the formula bar. You can simply check it here, right? So now it is clear to us what home key does, what control plus home does. Now let's understand what control plus end means. Once you press control plus end, right, Excel moves the last cell in the worksheet. This helps you quickly locate the end of your data. Now let's try it. Control plus end. What happened? It took you to the last cell where the data is mentioned. Like for example, where it is F, F column, but here it is 5, fifth row, right? F column because we have mentioned course there, and here it is fifth because Karishma contact number and her salary is 24,000 rupees, where it is mentioned in the fifth row. So simply when you will type control plus n, what will happen? Excel moves to the last cell in the worksheet. This helps where data is, right? This helps you quickly locate the end of your data simply. If you want to see where your data ends, you simply have to click control plus n. Now let's understand about another key, that is page up. Okay? Now what happens with page up? When we press page up, Excel moves one screen upwards. Let's try it. Excel moves one step upwards. Look, 69, 47, 25, 3, 1, right? Now do it again. We will do it again so that it will get clear to us. One screen upwards, right? When we click on, like for example, it will go one step upwards. It will go one step upwards when we click on, look, page up, 91 serial number. You can check there on a here you can check, like it is 69. Now again page up, it is 47, it is 25. So this is how page up works. Excel moves one screen upwards. It's useful when working with large data sets, right? Now let's understand what page down is useful for. Now let's do one thing. Let's click on page down. Same way, like for example, page up, what it does, it moves one excel, it moves one screen upwards. But page down, what it do, it moves one step downwards. Let's do it. Page down, look, the last cell is 44, right? You can check the last row is 44. Now let's click again, page down, 66, right? 88. So it moves one screen downwards. It moves one screen downwards. Now let's understand control plus arrow keys. This is the powerful shortcut. Control plus arrow keys are the powerful shortcuts. For example, control plus, let's click right arrow, right? What happened? Okay, leave this aside. First, let's put some data here so that you will be able to understand the contact number. Let's delete this row, add something else. What we can put here, Rahul salary, and what kind of laptop they are using. Let's suppose HP, um, Dell, Asus, HP, put here HP as well. Okay, so let's put here, let's delete this thing. Mm, Now what we can put here? Residence. Yes, we can put residence, for example. Delhi. Okay, so now let's put here Delhi. Okay, now let's try to understand what control plus arrow keys does. This is a powerful shortcut. As I discussed, press control plus right. For example, I am on cell A1. All right, now what I will do, I will click on control plus right arrow. What happened? It quickly jumped towards the D4, which is the last data of this row, right? Excel jumps to the last filled cell in that direction. Let's suppose, for example, now we will see whether they are coming via bus, cab, or metro. Let's suppose, for example, Rahul is coming to the office by metro, and um, oh, and his job is on site. Let's suppose, for example. Now again, what I will do, I will simply click again control plus right arrow. What happened? Now from A1 it got to F1. So simply control plus right arrow, when you press control plus right arrow, Excel simply jumps to the last filled cell in that direction. Now let's try to do it in the second row, A2. Now let's click on control plus right arrow. What happened? Because here the last data in the cell is C3. So in the second row, it got stuck at C3, right? Last fill data in short, right? Now let's click on control plus, for example, left arrow. Okay, let's click on control plus left. It will be obviously it's vice versa, right? It will take us to the first fill data. For example, I am here and I will click on control plus left arrow and it will take us to the first fill data of that particular row, right? And same will happen. Let's suppose, for example, I will click on control down key, so down arrow, it will take us to the last for example this filled cell of that particular column. And if I will click on control plus up arrow key, it will take us to the first cell of that particular column where the data is, where we have put some data, right? So these shortcuts help you to navigate larger tasks quickly. At this point of time you might find it, no, it's not helpful, we can do it with the mouse. But obviously you will find it like this because here the data is limited. But once you will go to the organization, there you will be getting a lot of data, right? Huge data sets. You won't be able to do it like this with the mouse, so there you have to work with the keyboard only. So at this point of time you simply have to understand the concepts so that you will be able to excel in this field, right? Now this was the end of today's keyboard navigation. Now we will be doing quick recap what we learned today. So today we learned arrow keys, enter key, tab key, shift plus tab, home key, control plus home, control plus end, page up, page down, control plus arrow keys. These shortcuts help us navigate Excel faster and more efficiently. Now, coming to the conclusion, keyboard navigation is one of the easiest ways to improve your Excel speed. Practice these shortcuts regularly, and soon they will become a habit. In the next video, we will learn cell formatting and make our worksheet look professional. And yeah, before closing this video, I will suggest you, if you have any doubt, if you have any query, please mention in the comment section so that in the next video we will be able to rectify that mistake, or we will be able to kind of make those things more easier so that you will be able to understand. So thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to MBA beginner channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.